Hey guys, what's up? It's Claudio here, the band leader of Mod Society, and today I wanted to make a video to help you guys understand the process of picking the right band for your event. I know there's a ton of different bands out there, and the process of funneling down the bands to just a few can be daunting and really time consuming. So I want to make sure that you guys know what to look for, what kind of questions to ask band leaders, and how to compare bands in different price brackets. Let's talk about size. There are bands as small as a trio and as large as a 10 to 16 piece orchestra. I usually like to determine the band size based on your venue space and your guest count. For a wedding of 150 guests in a medium to large ballroom, maybe an 8-piece configuration would work really well. Whereas a wedding with maybe 100 guests or less, a 5-piece or a 6-piece would be more fitting. Typically, the bigger the band, the bigger the wow factor. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be louder, but it'll be more impressive and versatile. A band with a 3-piece horn section is going to have a lot more excitement and punch, especially during those Motown classics. Some bands like to market themselves as a fixed size, whereas other bands are more scalable. For example, we can scale for a wedding anywhere between a 6-piece to a 10-piece band. The equipment a band uses plays a huge role in their sound, pricing, and reliability. Some questions you might want to ask band leaders are, do you provide your own PA system? Do you have wireless microphones for speeches? Do you have backup equipment? Do you provide lighting for the band and dance floor? To answer those questions, yes, we provide all our own sound and lighting equipment along with a wireless mic system. And I've also invested heavily in backup equipment. For example, this here is the brain of our sound system. It's a digital mixer where you can plug in all the instruments and microphones and they get mixed and fed to the speakers. And one thing that I really love about our system is its wireless capabilities. I can plug a wireless router to the back of this and our sound technician can walk around with an iPad and have complete control over the mix and volume of the band to make sure it sounds great in all areas of your venue. This is a huge game changer with all the wireless technology of today, and it helps us deliver the best possible sound for you and your guests. I'm such a big fan of this technology that I got a second one for ceremonies and cocktail hours, and also as a backup. A sound technician is an important part of any band's crew. Usually smaller bands won't have one, but for bands larger than 6 pieces, it's essential. A sound tech is going to help with loading, setup, sound check, and monitor the volume levels throughout the night. If there are any malfunctions, he or she is instantly available to troubleshoot, allowing the band to focus on playing the music. We bring our sound technician to all events where our band setup is larger than 6 pieces. Keep in mind that it's perfectly okay for smaller setups to not have a sound technician, since the band members can take care of everything and all the sound check themselves. But a good sign of a quality band is the inclusion of a sound technician, especially for bigger events and larger venues. Some bands have a large roster of musicians that they pull from for every gig, depending on who's available. This helps band leaders and managers ensure that they always have a full lineup for every event. One of the difficult things about managing certain musicians is reserving them for a date that's over 12 months away. You have to understand that some musicians work completely as freelancers and they have somewhat unpredictable lifestyles. So band leaders have a difficult time guaranteeing certain musicians, while other musicians are more stable and easier to reserve. Ask the band leader if the singers are consistent between every gig, and if they have more than a few in their roster, ask them if you can pick which one you'd like. For example, my band has a pretty constant lineup, but for smaller events where we have 1 or 2 singers, it's possible to request which singer you prefer. I ask clients to make sure they're happy with all our singers before booking us, since if one gets sick or has an emergency, I can call one of the others to fill in. Bands will usually post a repertoire on their website. If not, make sure you ask to see it before booking them. Look for versatility. Weddings typically include at least 3 different generations of guests, so being able to connect with their tastes throughout the night is important for any band. Some bands will learn songs not in the repertoire list. Some will charge extra. We will learn up to 4 songs not in our repertoire list at no additional cost. Clients usually like to keep these for their first dance and parent dances. On a side note, most bands will come to an event prepared to play a specific song list that is created and rehearsed based on your recommendations. But part of the fun and excitement of playing in a live setting is being able to read the crowd and make changes throughout the night to keep the momentum going. That being said, I personally don't disclose our final set list to clients. Isn't it more exciting when you don't know exactly what the band will play and when they'll play it? I ask clients to give me their top 10 to 20 must-play songs out of our repertoire list, and also any songs that they don't want us to play. It's important to trust your vendors. We've done this hundreds of times and our judgment is on point. Some bands will have showcases where you can come out and see them perform live. Usually agency bands will have monthly showcases, whereas smaller or non-agency bands might play at a local bar. With my band, it's difficult to find a venue large enough to accommodate our 8 to 10 piece configuration, so we've never actually been able to showcase our full band. Every now and then I'll get a trio or a 5-piece gig and I'll invite clients to come out and meet us. But I do prefer to invest more into making videos to showcase our talent. We have tons of footage from studio and live events, and it's much easier for clients to get a complete picture of our versatility and style based on our video content. I realize that I'll probably lose about 5 to 10% of prospective clients because we don't have as many showcases as other bands, but in the end, it works better for my business style and personal approach. During your search, I'm sure that you'll find that there can be a big difference in pricing for bands. Everything I talk about in this video plays a role in determining the price of a band, from size, equipment, having a sound technician, to repertoire, talent, and reputation. If you're on a budget, you might be able to compromise with a band that's only been around for a year or two. Their talent may still be high, but if they don't have the reputation or reviews, it might be difficult for them to justify higher pricing. Take your time and make sure you meet with the band leaders and do as much research as possible with these newer bands. You could end up with a great deal. On the flip side, they may break up suddenly due to the hardships of the first few years, or they could end up having technical problems at your event that they don't know how to troubleshoot, leaving you in a compromising situation. If you go with a band with a good reputation that has been around for 5 to 10 years, note that you are paying for that level of experience and peace of mind that they will deliver a great show given any circumstance. Lastly, there's level of talent. This can be highly subjective, and it's really up to you to decide if a band has the talent to match their price. Ask yourself, do I feel something special when I listen or watch their videos? How versatile are they? Are they strong enough to cover a 4-hour reception? Do I like their image and brand? Okay, so that's it. I hope this was helpful and a good guide on what to look for in a band. Here are some questions you might want to ask band leaders during your search. You can pause this video now to write them down. Remember that not every band will be a good fit for you and your event, so if you find yourself asking them to change too many things about their style, repertoire, and/or pricing, it's probably a good sign that they are not for you. Professional bands are very well organized and highly rehearsed, so make sure you let them do what they're good at. If you have any questions for me, feel free to email me at info@modsociety.com. In the meantime, happy band hunting. Bye.